The Argonian is a very good all-round race. Because of their hist skin, they recover health 10 times faster, and they are a very good sneaky type because of their unarmed damage, which is not as high as that of the Khajiit. They are able to damage people without having a weapon, so they can just walk around without a weapon that makes sound. Their water breathing ability is pretty good when you're a stealthy type, because you can just hide from guards or thieves or someone who's attacking you, and just go out of the water when you're ready to fight them again. Their resist disease ability is not very good, because you don't really suffer from disease as much. Only the vampirism can be pretty annoying. It's just a very good stealthy type and could be used as an assassin, but also as a warrior because of their hist skin.
I think the Breton is one of the best races when it comes to fighting other mages because of his power. His power basically means that if an enemy mage is casting spells on you, you receive 50% of the magicka he used to cast that spell. So if you are battling with him, you basically just get a lot of magicka back. The Breton is also good against other mages because of his abilities. He has 25% more resist of magic. So again, if you're battling against a mage, the Breton is one of the best races to race. Well, I recommend you to build Breton in a destruction mage way. The Dark Elf certainly is best at being a mage, a destruction mage or any type of mage. Just if you are going to be a mage, you're quite strong. The Dark Elf is pretty good at the early stages of the game if you're a mage. Because of his skill tree, he already has plus 10 destruction, which means that if you are casting destruction spells, you already have more damage than other races. And it's also easier to get new perks on your perk trees. Also, his power is really strong, only in the beginning stages of the game. It gives you 8 points of fire damage around you for 60 seconds. So if you're battling against someone and you run out of magicka, well, you're a mage, so you can't really switch to one-handed weapons. Just pop your power and you can kill them. Well, the Dark Elf has 50% fire resistance, so if you're walking in a trap or something where fire comes out of the ground, it probably won't kill you, which is pretty nice. I consider the High Elf to be the best mage in Skyrim. Right from the beginning, the High Elf has 50 more magicka than other races, so you can just cast your spells a little bit longer when you're a High Elf. Also, the ability of a High Elf is pretty nice. It means your magicka regenerates 25 times faster than normal. So if you're battling against someone and you run out of magicka, you can just use your power and you can just keep casting your spells full time. Magicka won't be a problem then.
The Imperial is a very good one-handed race, and in its other hand it can have another one-handed weapon or a restoration or a destruction spell. Because of the plus 10 restoration at the beginning, it's very useful to use your healing and one-handed weapon at the same time, so it can heal itself up while fighting. This can also be destruction and one-handed. Their ability, the Voice of the Emperor, is very useful when you're losing a fight, because it calms all nearby people for 60 seconds. And their Imperial luck causes them to always find more money than other people will do. So you're getting rich a lot faster than other races. It's a bit of an all-round race, but you can't really use it for full mage or full warrior. And two-handed weapons also aren't that good on Imperials. The Khajiit is an awesome race. It has the highest sneak of all races, and Because of their night vision, they can see in dark caves, but it's not that useful because you can just adjust your brightness of your screen. They are a very good stealthy type. They are pretty hard to notice for guards and other people. They can do very much damage without weapons. 12 damage, as much as most of the weapons at beginning game. This costs them a lot less weight than other races, because they don't have to carry weapons. They are not that good as a mage and also not that good as a warrior, but they can be called the best assassins in the game.
Well, I consider the Nord to be one of the best warrior type races in Skyrim. If you're gonna be a Nord, it's best to just find a two-handed weapon and fight with that, because you're 10 levels higher in two-handed, so in the beginning you deal a lot more damage with two-handed weapons. Also, Nord has 50% frost resistance, so if you're fighting against frost dragons or something, that can be pretty useful. Well, the ability of the Nord is the battle cry. If you cast it, the target flees for 30 seconds, so if you're battling against someone and you think you're gonna lose it, just cast your ability and you can just heal up, run away or do anything else. I consider the Orc to be one of the best warrior type races in this game. I recommend you to build the Orc just heavy armor, and I would say it's best to go dual wielding, which means you have one weapon in your right hand and one weapon in your left hand. The ability of the Orc is really strong. It means you take half damage and you deal double damage for 60 seconds. That means your base damage is already pretty high, because your normal attacks deal double damage. So increase your health all the time and increase your heavy armor all the time, only because your base damage is already really high. You don't even need to increase perks on your one-handed skill tree, just because the base damage is so high. Well, the Orc also has his heavy armor skill tree 10 levels higher than the other races. So that means if you can find heavy armor in the beginning phase of the game, you can be already really tanky, and because of your ability you can also deal a lot of damage. So just, if you're going to play Orc, make sure you're not going to be a mage. Just build like a warrior. It will really be strong, and it will certainly pay off.
The Redguard is a very strong race. It has the Adrenaline Rush ability, which causes them to regenerate their stamina 10 times as fast. This causes them to do power attacks full time, and when you're having two one-handed weapons, which is very good on Redguards, you can press your mouse buttons full time and do power attacks all the time. This is the only build on Redguard which is pretty good, because their two-handed ability isn't that high. They can be a destruction mage, but they're also not that good at that. And archery is good on Redguards. But if you want to be a Redguard, the best thing to do is use two one-handed weapons at the same time and just spam power attacks. They also resist 50% poison, but that's only useful against spiders and giant spiders. The Wood Elf is a very good archer. It has the highest archery level of all the races. It has plus 10 archery at the beginning of the game. All his other abilities aren't that good. He has 50% resist poison and 50% resist disease, which is not that good, and his special power is to make an enemy an ally. And I have never used this, and it's also not very good, because you can just reanimate a corpse of a human, which is very much stronger. It can be used as a sneaky type archer, sniping everyone from a distance while not being seen. but the Blue Elf can be used as anything else. I recommend light armor and only bows, but if you're in a close combat fight you can use just one-handed weapons or magic. They're just very good at just killing everyone with a bow from a long range, and that's what I recommend you do.